Hello and welcome to another Wraggys review. Another review. Today I'm going to talk about the weekender in Bognor Regis and Portsmouth. So we drove down. We avoided the M1, M25 on the way down. We went M1, M69, M40 I think it was, and then it took us into Portsmouth and we did a side swipe. Went through the bloody Thames Valley over this hill, and I don't know if I've got a speeding ticket or not, and I don't tend to even go over the speed limit. There was a fast bit. You were going over a bloody hill, and next minute I clocked this bloody van and slammed my brakes on as quick as I could. But obviously, you know, the flow of the traffic. So I don't know. I don't know if you get 10%. On me clock, it was about 78, which probably equates to about 71 in real terms. But it depends if they give you any extra. If they clock you over 70, then I've definitely got a bloody ticket. Never had a speeding ticket in my life. Never. Been very lucky. But anyway, yeah, we drove in. It was a 4.25 hour trek to get to Bognor Regis. You know, and it's bloody warm as well. And we're in the Hyundai, and the Hyundai's not got the aircon's broke. So yeah, warm. But anyway, we got there. We couldn't get in the caravan straight away. So we went to Morrison's in Bognor Regis. Bloody hell. That is one run down Morrison's, but yeah, it is what it is. Had a walk through Bognor Regis town centre. Not a grand deal there, to be fair. Spotted the pub we wanted to visit. I wanted to visit. Never did. Never went back in. Duck and Summit. Yeah, spotted it, but we never went back in. Obviously, Wetherspoon's not allowed to go in with dogs, which is, yeah, great. Could have done with a pint in Wetherspoon's, but it would have made the deal good. We did park in the Morrison's car park. You pay £2 for parking. You have to pay. But if you spend 10 quid in Morrison's, you get your £2 back. So in essence, we didn't pay for parking, but you do have to pay if you're not parking. So while we were there, we thought we'll have a walk along the beach at Bognor Regis. Bloody hell, it's as stony as hell. Big pebbles, like Pebble Beach. I'm sure there was a programme at Pebble Beach at one stage. But yeah, we went there, had an ice cream, went to the toilets. Free toilets, although they were, yeah, not the best of toilets. I bet you get some activity in there. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I was glad to get in and out of the toilets. Quick wing, get myself out. But yeah, got to be honest, not a grand deal in Bognor Regis for us at least. You know, I mean, it was nice. It's like for me, it was like an old-fashioned seaside resort. Yeah, it's a bit much as I can say about it, really. The Pebble Beach does not lend itself to lay on. There were people laying on it, mind, but I mean, unless you can move the pebbles around and get a big towel under you, and you know, so it's, you know, you'd have to have some bloody towel. So from there we went to we stopped at the Haven, I think it was Haven, at Pagham. I don't know what it's called. It was alright. Nice big caravan in an area called Greenacre. Then from there we went over to Fauna Brewing and Arundel Brewery. We had a good night there. Fauna Brewing didn't really rate Fauna Brewing. It was okay, but you know, it was definitely more for the lager drinkers than it was for the beer drinkers. Arundel Brewery taproom, absolutely amazing. You know, very much want to go back there at some stage in the future. For any beer drinkers out there, absolutely rate the place. You know, definitely worth going back. Got home Friday night. Got back to the caravan Friday. We were knackered. That 4.5 hour drive, 4.25 hours plus, another hour and a half. So well over 6 hours travelling, driving, and that's a lot. I was knackered. Got back to the caravan, and we were on this plot. There's a grass area in the middle of a flipping substation. Had some fucking dickheads playing football, and I can't be done with footballing. Can't be done with it. First they were well away from us, and it just kept coming down and down. And next minute, some bloody woman come out. Obviously, one of the kids' mums comes out and says, "Go and play down there." And the part of me, the older part of me, the younger part of me would have gone out and says, "Wait, don't tell him to play down there. Go and play outside your bloody caravan. We don't want the ball hitting our caravan because you can't be arsed." Should have gone out, should have said something. They had some security bloke come round. This was getting dark by then, so they had 3 hours of the fucker. Security bloke come down with his flashy lights on, didn't say anything. I did go out at one stage, pop my head out, and there was some young girl who was with them. And I says, no respect. Playing football outside people's hitting queues caravans, no respect. And so she would have took that back to her mum, because kids listen, they will take it back. And had someone come down and had a go, then I'd have been a bit more fruity. But I don't go on holiday to have footballs belting against the caravan. Little kids, yeah, but not 10, 11, 12-year-olds. By that age you should learn respect and play outside your own caravan. You're not there to ruin other people's holidays. But that might be just me being a bit older these days. But my tolerance for footballers has never been there anyway. I love football, but I don't want it hitting my caravan. So Saturday, we drove over to the Queen's Elizabeth Park run. So the whole reason for the holiday was to do this park run that began with Q for the wife, so that was the whole reason for the holiday, because Bognor Regis is not really on my list of places to go. I didn't even know where it was. We drove up there, and the people were lovely, to be fair. Bit pricey on the parking, bloody hell, nearly an hour and a half, £5 for an hour and a half. Yeah, ouch. Yeah. Kerching. Then he got wiped out on a bloody roundabout. There's this roundabout that led up to it, and you go up to it and you go, it's such a fucking angle to go around. Never come across one of them before. It's like someone decided to just put a little bit of a roundabout that don't really do it. And but anyway, we came back, got changed, and then it was my turn to do something. No, actually, no, sorry. We went to Hayling Island, to the theme park. Again, another Pebble Beach. They do like their Pebble Beaches. What's up with sand? And is it just an erosion thing? I assume it's an erosion thing. But anyway, yeah, Pebble Beach. And went on the theme park. Tickets, tokens, we bought 20 quid's worth of tokens, 36 for 20 quid. Or 34 for 20 quid, something like that. I think it was 36 actually. Me and the boy, Harry, went on all the roller coasters, all the big rides together, and then he went on another ride. By that time I was knackered. I'd had my full of spinny bloody rides, and we had 9 tokens left, and you can't sell them back, so we just found a couple with a couple of kids and says, look, we've got these tokens, are you going on the rides? He says, yes. I said, oh, I'll take these tokens. Thank you. I says, don't worry about it, we just want to make sure they go to somebody who's going to use them and who'll appreciate it. And, it's what you're doing to, you've got some. I'm not giving them back to the company, I'd rather somebody have them. So anyway, from there, it was then my turn to do something. So, first things first, I drove over to Staggeringly Good. Went there. Yeah, it's a nice brewery. You know, a couple of decent staff members. One that was a bit, a bit miserable, but I suppose you always get that in any job. You don't know what day people are having. Lovely to see the brewery. Lovely to see the tap room. To drink a few beers in there, thirds, in plastic glasses. Fucking plastic glasses. That was upstairs. I think downstairs it had been proper glasses. We went upstairs because the lady outside told us to go upstairs, but there was parking there, but there's only a few cars. Whether we were really allowed to park there, I have no idea, but we did anyway, so it didn't matter. Got beers from there, had a look at the brewery, thought it was a cracking brewery. The upstairs area was bloody massive, so obviously there's much more to the downstairs bit than we could see. Then from there we went to MakeMake Brewery. I had a couple of their milkshake pails. Oh, they were absolutely stunning. MakeMake, if you like milkshakes but you want an alcoholic milkshake, they've got a blueberry and a banana. Flipping heck, they are absolutely worth getting hold of. They've got them at the moment. If you're anybody who's from a craft beer pub watching this, please, get MakeMake on your order list. Big massive thank you to Scott Reviews Things. Now, we went there, we had a great time there, and the wife says, I want to do something now, so I want to go to Portsmouth Harbour to look around, the old ships and stuff. So she put it on the sat-nav Portsmouth Harbour. It dragged us all the back way round the other side of Portsmouth. How bloody big is Portsmouth? 20 minutes to get all the way round. It's like fucking hell. So we got all the way round. We're going down this street, and we've had plenty of these occasions where people cannot be asked to say thank you. It's like, and I put my head out and went, oi, fucking hell, say thank you. I'm not sitting here for my health. And in the sun you get a little bit more ratty. I certainly get more ratty in the sun. People who just no consideration for other drivers. We drove up this street, and there's a wedding coming towards us now. But now, pulled over, and you're like, where's this fucking taking us? Walks around. So they went by, drove around the corner. We're at some bloody castle in the middle of Portsmouth, and that. This isn't the harbour. So I looked on the Google. I put in old docks or whatever it was. So we're driving up, and it's taking us to a naval base. I'm like, for fuck's sake, where's it taking us? Then all of a sudden we go through the clear air zone. It's like, what's this fucking clear air zone? And we didn't get, I did actually ask Scott from Scott Reviews Things about this, and he says, I don't know anything about it. None of us have been charged for it. And I'm like, fuck's sakes. So is it the fact that he's not driving? Is it the fact that he's not in that area? And I'm like, and you start to panic. And I did read up that it's a £10 charge, which is ridiculous, and £160 if you don't pay it. And I'm like, oh shit. So, how long do you get? All these variables are going through your head. We're driving round. There's a fucking naval base that you can't get into. Then all of a sudden it takes us, and I'm trying not to go that way. It takes us into a car park, M&S car park. By that time, we've been in the sun. We've been driving for an hour and a half at this time. We've been going down roads, backtracking, and there's only so much I can take. And the Wraggy, I wouldn't say temper, but I just had enough. So we drove around, got into this car park, fucking £3.60. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes. The fucking road drove us in here. How the fuck are we supposed to get away from it if the road drove you in? Anyway, we drove in. She ran over to pay the parking. Luckily, it was free. And basically, I said, we'll get back out of the fucking car park. Got back out of the car park. And we both just said, look, let's just go. So we was genuinely going to meet Scott and Wanda. I was absolutely really gutted, fucking gutted, because I've been chatting to him on Messenger. My phone's a leaflet at the best of times. You click on a link and all of a sudden it's done 10 links, or it's added 10 people as friends. Next day I get up and it's like, fucking hell, these twats. And same on WhatsApp. It's blocked people on WhatsApp. I've gone on, I'm like, all my chats have disappeared. And I've had, and TikTok, it's added people, and people that you don't want to add as well. And you know, add as friends and like there, and it's fucking hell, what is my phone doing? I need to get a new touch screen for it, and you know, the plastic touch screen just does its own thing, scratched to bits, mind you. So anyway, yeah, was absolutely gutted. Was going to meet him at the Brewer's Tap, which is the South Sea Brewery tap room, but it was never to happen. They'd been for a beer tasting, so I hope that went well for them. So I'm absolutely gutted, because when Scott actually said about meeting up, I'm like, hey, this would be sound. You know, we've known each other's online for years, chatted online, joined him on their charity thing, and you know, I've kept well and truly offline now for the last year and a half. You know, done the beer reviews, but not done the online stuff, as most people know about this channel now, and other beer reviewers know anyway. And it's not the fact that I'm funny to anybody out there going through my own issues. Mental health, you know, rears its ugly head, and it is what it is. You know, I'm not going to make no bones about it. And I'm going through stuff at work at the moment, which isn't particularly nice. You know, it's reminiscent of what I went through 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Not quite as devious in some ways, not quite as worryingly in some ways, but devious, yes. And it's not just one person, it's 3 and possibly more. And yeah, I must be a real cunt, but yeah, I think I'm a nice person. You know, I'm not perfect, never have been, never will be, but yeah, I work hard, and I don't think the people I work with appreciate like people like me, you know, and who bow down. And you know, I don't bow down to certain types of people, never will, and I don't think they like that. And yeah, but it is what it is. You know, I pray that karma wins in the end. But anyway, yeah, so gutted we didn't meet Scott and Wanda. So we drove back, and we got out of Portsmouth. I've got to be honest, we had a terrible time. I assume Portsmouth is a lot easier to drive around than what we did. We followed Google, and Google, I know, can be an absolute twat. And it was. And the heat and that got to me, and, you know, all the driving the day before. So we got back home, and we got back to Pagham, and yeah, on the way back I was looking for there was a pub in Lamb's Inn. I thought, oh, I'll go in here, in Pagham. Went in, and the woman, who was obviously the landlady or whatever, you know, she was a bit snotty, and so I had a pint of Harvey's Sussex something or other pale, and drank that. They had colas, and I went round to the Badger pub, but there was music there, and it was rammed to heaven, so we bottled that. I thought, I'm not going there, can't be done with it. I'm not a big music person anyway, and sometimes you just, when you've had a moment, you just want peace and quiet. So we tootled around, we went back to the caravan park, parked the car up, went over to the entrance to the park, and around the corner was Pagham Beach, or Pegham Beach, I ain't got a fucking clue what it's called. Went to the beach, and again, Pebble Beach. It's like, fucking hell, what is it with these pebble beaches? I've never come across a beach that's pebbles. Reminds me of a song, Tiny Pebbles Yeah, no, let's not go down that road. In any case, we went to the beach. There was a fish shop there, but they don't allow dogs inside. Got a dog with us. It's hot. She can't sit outside. It's too hot. I'm not sitting outside with wasps and bees. I get that they have a policy where, you know, dogs aren't allowed. So, but there was nobody in the place. Sometimes, you know, I do wonder if these places with rules, whether it's health and safety, I get it. I do get it. But sometimes you do wonder whether they are biting off the nose. You know, for people with dogs who need the dog to get in the cool. Yeah. So we walked up. This is before we hit the beach. And, you know, let me just reiterate that. There was a place there with music on. Members only. I'm like, oh, okay. Quite a few people in there, obviously. When we walked up to the beach, another place, members only. I'm like, okay. I thought, you know, you're not very hospitable to the outside public. There's the beach in front of us. Yeah, Pebble Beach, like I said. Right. Oh, sod this. Turned around, went out. There was lots of arcades and stuff, and you know, there was an ice cream place. Wife and son got an ice cream. I wasn't bothered. We walked back along the road. There were two people who had dog bowls or outside their garden with fresh water in. So well played, those people. You know, so you don't want to take your dog on holiday, but if you have to, and it's a warm day, and you've got to take the dog with you, that little bit of water. We had water with us, to be fair. We had water and a little plastic bowl, so you know, fold down bowl thing. So we were okay, but you know, to get fresh water, jobs are good. So we went back and we went to the Mash and Barrel, which is in the Avon Resort. Had a dinner there. Had a Guinness, pint of Guinness, because it had Doom Bar, Worthingtons and lagers, and I thought, I'm not drinking that shite. So I had Guinness. Anyway, I went back to the caravan on the Saturday night. I drank watched the Avengers and drank a load of Baileys, and had a good night back at the caravan. On the Sunday morning, we decided to wrap up early. We knew the heat was coming in. We knew we needed to get through the traffic, so we got the quickest route. Took us up the M25. Bloody hell, the M25! What an absolute shithole of a road. We got to the M25, lovely. It was rammed to hell. This is early in the morning as well, like 9, half 9. Rammed to hell on there. Got past Heathrow Airport, a lot better after Heathrow. Got onto the M1, going up the ways. By gosh, people know how to play the speed cameras. Yeah. And there's some right arsey drivers out there. That's all I've got to say. If you're driving, use your phone with your Google on for your speed, but also use your eyes, because you know, for any differences, especially on 50 mile an hour. But Google's brilliant. So you know, on these 50 mile an hour things, everyone's passing you if you're in your car without Google. When you've got Google up and you see 50, you can go at 50, which is about 55 on your speedometer in your car. Makes such a difference getting through the traffic. And then from there we drove up to junction 22. We came off at the Ashby de la Zeus junction. We were going to Tollgate Brewery. I thought, well, let's go to Tollgate Brewery on the way home. The dog can have a wee, we can have a wee. And it's a brewery that I'd wanted to visit on the way home. Went there. You've got a pizza house, you've got a burger bar, you've got separate indoor areas to eat, you've got a massive outdoor area, toilets, you've got a bar with, I think it was 5 cast lines on, 7 keg lines, loads of beers at the back, another area there, there's wines and other sorts of things, colas and what. Lovely service there. There was a ginger-haired girl, and she was so friendly. Plus the manager, a blonde-haired lady, and another girl behind the bar. absolutely, you know, super friendly. If anybody from Tollgate Brewery watches, I haven't done a Tollgate Brewery review, just reminded me. But yeah, lovely people, really did a credit to you. My wife had a pizza, son had a pizza, I had a burger and a pint, £9. £9 for a burger. Flipping pints a fiver, burgers £4. That's an absolute steal. We are going back, obviously, but we are not going back the Junction 22 way. So we were there, we had a great time there, bought a load of beers, bought 12 beers for reviews. They'll be coming soon. From there, we've drove back, and then to get to Nottingham, and it took us a different way. It took us down to the A50. A50, literally 3 miles to the A50, onto the M1. Flipping heck. It was so much easier to get on than the Junction 22 way. So if you're coming from Nottingham, do not drive down to Junction 22. Get off at Junction 24, A50, follow the sat-nav. Much easier. If you live at Long Eaton, follow it from Long Eaton, which we will do at some stage in the future. But yeah, a must visit location near Cork Abbey, so there's something there. And then we got home, you know, and so some great positives, some great tap rooms that I really enjoyed were Arundel Brewery, Staggeringly Good, MakeMake Brewery, and Tollgate Brewery. Absolutely enjoyed them. Didn't enjoy the driving, but I never do. Fuck off. I don't enjoy the warm weather, not the hot weather like it is. Don't enjoy playing footballers, banging footballers outside the bloody window. You know, for a lot of elderly people, it's very intimidating, even though it is young teenagers. You know, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, but it's intimidating for a lot of people. I wanted to go out and rattle them, but there were, you know, I didn't. But I wish I had them really. I ought to have said something. And sometimes, you know, you need to stand up to, especially when that woman walked down and says, go and play down there next to the substation. I mean, why would you send your kids near a substation playing football? What brainless gimp does that? But on the whole, it was a great holiday. My only regret, my massive regret, is we did not get to the Brewer's Tap, and we did not get to see Scotland Wonder. Gutted for that, but the rest of it, yeah, it was great. Thank you for watching. See you soon.